Welcome to Bangkok, I'm Cal, and this is your weekly Thailand news update, where I cover what's happening across the country and what it means for visitors and expats right now. It's been a weekend of mourning in Thailand following the passing of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit. On Sunday, thousands attended the 10-kilometer royal funeral procession from Chulalongkorn Hospital to the Grand Palace, and major roadways were closed for the event. Queen Sirikit served as Thailand's Queen Consort from 1950 until 2016. The government has declared a full year of national mourning. Flags will be flown at half-mast for 30 days, and the public is encouraged to wear black or dark colors for 90. Visitors don't need to dress entirely in black, but it's best to avoid bright or flashy colors during this period, especially in public or religious spaces. There's no official ban on entertainment or gatherings, but most events and festivals will be toned down for at least the next month. Nightlife areas, especially around Khao San Road and the Old City, are lowering music volumes, dimming lights, and in some cases closing early out of respect. You'll also notice black mourning banners, monochrome TV broadcasts, and memorial ribbons across the country. Government offices, schools, and banks may hold remembrance ceremonies, so check ahead for potential delays or closures. If you're visiting temples or royal sites, dress modestly, shoulders covered, knees covered, and behave calmly and respectfully. And as always, avoid discussing the monarchy. Thailand's royal defamation laws are extremely strict, especially during times of mourning. All that said, day-to-day life continues as normal here in the country. Hotels, restaurants, malls, and all the major attractions remain open, but the overall tone is more subdued than usual. There was also some good news this weekend. At the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur, the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia signed an expanded ceasefire agreement. And this is a major diplomatic breakthrough. The deal was brokered with U.S. mediation and co-signed by President Donald Trump, who tied new trade deals to an end in the fighting. Under the new ceasefire, heavy weapons will be withdrawn from disputed zones, 18 captured Cambodian soldiers will be released, and joint demining operations will begin along the frontier. Both countries also agreed to form a joint task force to target cybercrime and human trafficking networks, which have come under heavy international scrutiny. And an ASEAN observer mission will verify compliance, with peace monitors expected to deploy within days. The truce doesn't settle every border issue, and officials still caution that the peace is fragile. Both sides will need to stick to their commitments for it to last, but for now, it's a clear sign of progress. Alongside the ceasefire, Thailand, Malaysia, and Cambodia also signed new trade and mineral cooperation agreements with the United States. For travelers and expats, risks along the border have reduced, and overland crossings between Thailand and Cambodia are expected to reopen. And as border tensions cool, there's a more unified regional approach emerging, especially in the fight against scam networks. Cooperation between Thailand and Cambodia was a key clause in the ceasefire. And across the border in Myanmar, government forces raided the infamous KK Park, which had long been controlled by the Karen National Army, and operated massive scam compounds in partnership with Chinese organized crime groups. Plumes of smoke and explosions were visible from the Thai border as the compound came under assault. More than 1,200 people fled into Thailand, the largest group being Indian nationals who'd been tricked into scam jobs, while 25 Thai citizens were repatriated. The military government in Myanmar is highly dependent on Beijing, which has been demanding the release of its trafficked citizens trapped in scam compounds. And China recently sentenced more than a dozen Chinese nationals to death for running notorious online scam compounds in Myanmar's Kokong region. Meanwhile, in Thailand, the crackdown has triggered a wave of accusations against powerful figures, what local media are calling Scamgate. The deputy finance minister resigned after reports alleged connections to a major Cambodian bank tied to scam networks. The opposition People's Party, currently favored to win the March election, has promised a sweeping corruption probe targeting domestic scam ties. For most visitors and expats, all of this is playing out behind the scenes. But the scam issue is the big story behind the drop in Chinese tourist arrival numbers. And this has been the driving factor behind most of the major policy decisions here in Thailand over the past year. So it's worth following along to understand what's really happening. And it has come with some real-world effects, particularly stricter banking controls and tighter entry rules. In the past month alone, 2 friends of mine were denied entry to Thailand after spending more than 8 months in the country on repeated tourist visa exemptions. Those exemptions typically allow a 60-day stay extendable locally for 30, but many long-term expats have used multiple back-to-back entries to live in Thailand indefinitely. And while there is no clearly defined rule, anyone staying more than 180 days in a calendar year is likely to face questioning and even outright denial of entry. If that happens, travelers are detained overnight at their own expense and required to buy a return ticket to their point of boarding or home country. So if you're planning a long stay, get a proper long-term visa. Back in Bangkok, another crackdown is underway as undercover police disguised as construction workers carried out a midnight sting on Sukhumvit Soi 11. They arrested 8 Nigerian men and 1 Thai national accused of drug dealing and pickpocketing tourists in the nightlife zone. 40 officers from the Metropolitan Police and Narcotics Suppression Bureau joined the operation, blending in with local road crews before surrounding the suspects. Police say the men hid small packets of drugs in their mouths, spitting them out to sell or swallowing them to evade arrest. Officials described the sting as part of Operation Clean Zone. They say similar covert operations will continue during the mourning period, focusing on nightlife areas but keeping things discreet to maintain public order. For visitors and expats, this is another reminder: stay far away from illegal drugs in Thailand. And it highlights broader efforts to improve public safety, particularly in the tourist areas. Let's shift to some tourism and event news. Thailand officially entered the cool season last week, and this is the tourism high season. And we've got a very busy upcoming calendar at the end of October and early November. The government has confirmed that all major events will go ahead, though organizers have been asked to tone down the celebrations out of respect. Siam Square organizes a Halloween walking street full of costumes and decorations. And just around the corner, you'll find Central World Mall. The giant pavilion is adorned with decorations and mini events. Amsphere Mall is decked out with decorations with an event titled Under the Castle. And Ban Tat Tong Road comes alive with street food and decorations. Khao San Road, the historic backpacker district, normally hosts costume parades and late-night street parties. But festivities may be toned down this year due to the mourning period and proximity to the Grand Palace and religious sites. Across the nightlife scene, themed parties are everywhere. This includes major venues at RCA, Tonglor, Sukhumvit Soi 11, and there's more. From October 30th to November 2nd, Bangkok's Little India celebrates Diwali with fireworks, henna booths, and vegetarian street food around India Emporium and the Sri Guru Singh Sabha Temple. Meanwhile, Yaowarat's Vegetarian Festival continues through Halloween week. 9 days of gold flags, plant-based food, and buzzing Chinatown streets. Then on November 5th, Thailand celebrates Loi Krathong, a massive nationwide holiday to let go of grievances, make wishes for the future, and start anew. People float biodegradable candle-adorned baskets on rivers and lakes throughout the country. We'll have more detailed coverage on where to celebrate next week. Enjoy the upcoming holiday and events. This is the best time of the year to visit Thailand, but remember to be respectful of the national mourning process. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.